Well, welcome, boys and girls, to another evening of Hangarash. Last night, I made a buck, and I didn't quite get it finished, so we'll go ahead and spend 5 minutes finishing the buck up. I didn't quite get it sanded down to the tops, so if I were to mold it from here, the bulkheads would have a flat spot on the top. So I'm going to continue sanding this, like I say, 5 minutes tops. And then we'll figure out some wood and mold her up. I got to clean off this. Man, I wish I had some more room. I have zero room. This is rockwood. Just put over here. Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to use these for the bottom of the buck. We'll save that. Let me pick this up here. Won't be able to mold on that. Put that in there. Okay, grab this camera over here so you get a better view of what I'm doing. Okay. I'm just clearing off the bench here. We're going to be making some smoke, I guess. There's just no room to work. I have no place to put anything, so everything's always right in the middle of the bench. And I hear people say, we got to learn to put stuff away. Well, there's no place to put it away, too. I want you to go in your bathroom and build an airplane in your bathroom. That's exactly what we got going on here. Okay. Well, it's about as good as it's going to get. I have to work around the mess, I guess. Yep, your workbench gets to be your bathroom sink. So let's change views here. Come on. There we go. All right, so I'm going to finish up this buck. If you look at this buck right here, where it's round, but it's flat. It's an 1/8 of an inch proud on that. So I need to finish sanding that down till it touches. And we'll use a short block. I'm going to put a flat on it here. Just take off the material. One of the reasons I wanted to do this on this bench, it's a whole lot easier to vacuum off this bench than it is to vacuum the apartment. I don't know where my long, thin block is. I don't want that one. That one's too much block. I don't think I left it over John's, but I could have. My Durablock. I'm sure it'll be there when I get there this weekend. Now I've taken quite a bit of that off and made it pretty much out of shape. But we'll get it there. The only bad thing about the standing on this foam is this white little nodule stuff. when you get it sanded down to the tops of that wood that I had saturated with CA, you'll hear it. It'll buzz. So not only is this a sanding exercise, it's a listening exercise as well. And where I've got this, where I'm sanding this right now, it candles pretty well. I can pretty much see any of the flats in it with this light above the bench. It sounds like it's getting there. Oh, I wanted to mention, I'm getting a lot of messages of guys doing some building techniques or whatever on other sites. Be careful where you get your information from, because these people that are doing these things are not really experts. Not that I'm the end all, but if you do it my way, and I'm showing you the results here, if you do it my way, you know you're going to end up with some decent results. Hey, Tom, great. Some guys will talk a good game. I'll show you a good game. Okay, this is a 180 grit sandpaper. We're just, you hear it singing? You can hear those Balsa bulkheads singing. Now I'm going to mold a block of wood on, or a skin on this before I Z-epoxy it, but I'm going to save this one because it turned out nice. So I'll Z-epoxy it and use it again. So just sight down it and see where you got any high spots or low spots or what have you. If you look right here, I got a ridge. I just sanded in it, but I just took it off there. And that won't show up in your skin anyway. And right here, I need to round her off a little more. Got a flat right there. When you get back at these little thin spots here, it's hard to keep away from getting flat. But that's okay, because the rudder sits right on top of that, and so you want it to kind of mold in anyway. Okay, that's close enough. Let me vacuum this up real quick, and we'll get to making some skins. Probably ready to turn this glass over. This glass is getting pretty much beat up on this side. hoping this will spin up in one sheet where I don't have to join it anymore, but I don't know until I measure it. Hopefully that's 4 inches or less. If it's 4 inches, we're in there. Of course not. No, maybe. Oh, man. Okay. Get your dressmaker's tape and measure it out. It's 4 inches. Lucked out. That means I don't have to join skins. All I have to do is cut it. Okay, do we want to do this in one piece, or let's see, if I got any A grain 8, I could do it in A grain 8. I don't believe I got any super nice A grain 8. Yeah, that's a pretty good piece. Let's see what it weighs. That is important. Do I have it marked? I think we'll do it in 3/32, I guess. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I got a pile of, this is 3/32 wood, and I've got it all weighted and graded. But just because of the weight doesn't mean the grain is the best. There's a possibility. That's a pretty nice sheet. Feels pretty stout. This is a possibility. We're getting down into the 3-pound wood there. This is heavier. That's heavier. That's real heavy. 20 grams per sheet. Too much. 21. This must be some of that stuff I got from 22s. These are heavy. Let's see here. So we got 2 sheets we can choose from. One for the bottom, one for the top. I was going to do it in 2 pieces of 16th, but if I can get away with 1 piece of 3/32, we'll go for that. 20s, too much. 16, that's better, so there's another choice. Except the grain is wonky. If you look at this piece of wood here, the grain is running on at an angle. If you use that to mold with, it'll pull your piece into a twist. So you want nice, clear, straight grain. That's heavy. Ooh, this piece feels good, but it's heavy. See, this piece here is already starting to mold itself, cupping around. So this is a real good piece. I might use that piece just because it's so nice. I think this is the piece I'm going to use. Now, I just made an executive decision to go from a 3-pound piece of wood to a 6-pound piece of wood. Why? Well, first off, it's the turtle deck or the top block. And the grain, of course, this is pretty nice too. Oh, decisions. That's a 16. See, this feels stiff. That means the lignit's tight. Good evening, Gary. The lignite is tight in that. This is a 17. This feels stout. Stout. This is 17. The grain is kind of at an angle, so you'd have to cut the piece at an angle. That 21 gram piece seems to be the best grain. This 15 ain't bad. Now, if you look here, it changes color. It's dark here and light here with a spot that kind of separates it. I'm afraid that if I go to mold that, it'll break right there. Now let's look at the two choices that I pulled out for grain wise, and we'll talk about what I'm going to do. Let's see, do I have any other stuff in here? So what I'm getting at, hey Dan. Yeah, I got the steamer all right. I got to get my steam box going. This piece of wood here, I got to reweigh this because, man, this piece of wood here has some super nice grain. Look at that. That grain is perfect for molding. It's straight. This is A grain wood, but it says that it's 21 grams. This is an AB grain, but it's 14 grams. This is AB and it's 15 grams. And it feels tight. I'm going to reweigh this 21 gram piece because I just can't believe it is 21 grams with that nice a grain. Maybe I'll cut off the heavy end, which would be this end. $20 grams is what I got here now. So, nope, 21. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to use the 21 gram piece and forego the other piece because the grain is just so nice in this. If you look here, this is the heavy end. You can feel it. It's a little bit harder. It's got a dark streak in it. And the grain is loose on this end. So, we're going to cut this end off of it. And we'll weigh it up. I think it's going to be fine. Okay, let's cut it. I want to cut a little long because I've got to run into that nose block. Yep. Yeah, I can feel that's the hard end. That made it a lot lighter. Get rid of the heavy piece. Okay, we're going to need a center line at 2 inches on this. And you say, well, what do you need a center line for? Just wrap it around there. Well, you got to lay it on the skin right. So we measured it. It had 4 inches. So we're going to make it 2 inches there. Two inches on this end. Now we're going to measure up stations. Let's see, stations, what are you talking about? Well, pretty simple. Center line. You'll leave a little hanging over the back and a little hanging over the front. Our stations are at the bulkheads. So station A, B, C. So we're going to need to take some measurements here. We know this station is 4 inches. I'm going to mark 4 up here. 4 inches. And this station is, steal your wife's dressmaker's tape. She'll love you for it. Just say, what are you going to do? Sew some clothes? No. This station here is 3 3/4. 3 3/4. This station here is 3 inches. This station here is 2 3/8. 2 3/8. And of course, the last station, or the post, tail post, is probably going to be around 3/4 of an inch. And that bend there is probably going to be the hardest bend because it is tight. So we might have to soak this for a while. No, it's going to be 1.5 inches. 1.5 at the tail post. 1.5. Okay, simple mathematics. Unless you got one of John's crazy rulers. So 1.5, 3/4 of an inch. Do this. 3/4 twice. Three-quarters twice, and then 1.5 inches. 2 3/8. What's half 3/8? 5/16. So it's going to be 1 5/16. Well, you can't hardly read this ruler with the light shining on it. 1 5/16. No. Half of 3/8 is 3/16. 1 3/16. 1, 2, 3/16. 2 and 3/8. 1, 2, 3/8. Half of 3 is 1.5. Half of 3 3/4. Boy, I'm gonna have to think for a second there. 1.5 plus half 3/4. Come on, guys. 3/8. 3/8 and 3/8 is no, that ain't right. 750. Yep, 350. What the hell is half of 3/4? Half of 3/4 is God, I can't even think tonight. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. Yeah, it is. Okay. 3/4, 1.5, 1.5, 1, 2, 3/8 is 1 and 7/8. Man, I should have paid more attention in school. Either that or get some brain food going. Okay, so now I want the lines across there so I can know the intersecting points. Now these lines are where the bulkheads are going to be. And just connect the dots now. And yes, it won't be a straight line. It'll be a kind of bowed line. Just leave it large. Now, I guess a guy could, I hope that mark was right. Got 2 marks on there. Hope I didn't make a mistake. Of course, it would be par for the course on these live streams. I make all kind of mistakes. What the hell happened to my ruler? Oh, man. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's the right one. That's the right one. Okay. So, little recap. I've chosen the piece of wood that was heavier that had the nicer grain. For the simple fact, it's going to be easier to mold. It won't split. Let's see what my skin's gonna weigh. Hopefully it's in the half-ounce range. Okay, this is my top block, my top skin. I need to scrape that off. Come on. Aggravating. Try to work in a place where you got no room. There it is. Okay. Come on. 11 grams. That's what my top block's going to be, 11 grams. Would have been nice to be 7, but I'll live with 11. And it'll lose a little bit of that when I trim it. I'm sanding out now the scratches and dents I just put in it. I won't have to sand this again at all. It'll be perfectly shaped. Also taking a little weight off of it. 180 grit. Get the dents out of it. Okay, let me go soak this. I'll get that a soak and we'll come back and work on the mold a little bit. So this thing I just cut looks kind of like an airfoil. It's not straight. It's not a straight line. Let me wet this down. I have molded so many skins in that bathtub, it's ridiculous. Let me sweep this off a little bit. I do have a steam generator. I just haven't got around to making a steam box, which I might make out of a piece of 4-inch PVC pipe. Except the PVC pipe will probably melt. So I don't know what to do. So we'll get our 8 bandages ready. Our 8 bandage. So I got this one. Check on this water. It doesn't take much. I mean, people think you got to soak the crap out of it and all that. We're just gonna let that sit in there a few minutes and be done with it. Okay, I wanted to put a spine on this so that when I pull it, it doesn't warp. Of course, I'm not sure this will help, but can't hurt. Be better if it was hardwood. You can spend, I got a week's worth of mold making in my Thunderbolt mold bucks, but they're built to last. This one here, if I get, this mold out of it, and that stiffened it up quite a bit. If I get this mold out of it, maybe one more, I'll be happy. Yep, that'll be fine. So one more inspection of it, make sure that it's straight, square, or whatever, and it looks good to me. Just sight down it, and you'll see the high spots, but this looks good. So that should be pretty close to be ready. And what else can I do tonight? We're working 38 minutes. I guess I could figure out push rod length. Get that going. The way I do my push rods is that I don't glue them together until the airplane's together. So you zero out the elevators like this. You zero out the elevators like this. You zero out the flaps, and you slide the push rod in and out until everything's zero. I hate all that monkey business of twisting and adjusting and all that. So and let the glue dry. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Boy, did I choose the grain right on that one. Now remember, I chose the matter of fact, the heaviest of the pieces. I had 14, 15, 16. This one was 21 grams. Why did I choose a 21 gram wood? Well, because of the grain. You see this piece of wood here? It's already, just from sitting in the tub, it's already bending. So we'll get some of this water off of here because I don't need to take it forever to dry. So get the center line right on the center line of the mold. I'm going to pin it, I think. I'm going to pull that down on the end. We'll go from the other end. And then center line it up here. And it doesn't have to be perfect on this. Just needs to be close. Perfect is better, but it doesn't have to be. Let's see. Now with the ace bandages, we'll start wrapping. Look at some masking tape. Oh, I do. Okay. Get some masking tape to get it started. You know, it would probably work just with the masking tape. You see how this, let me see if I can show you here. You see how this mold works right to the bottom of that because we measured the stations? Perfect. And it's not straight. That's kind of important. Getting it started is a little difficult, but it's going now. Just pull her down tight. So I finished shaping the mold tonight, and I molded up the top skin in less than an hour. So if you break down your job, your build into 1 hour sessions, there's no reason why you can't build an airplane 1 hour a night. But you got to work. You can't go and watch Sparky on the TV. Do what I do right along with me. Oh, split. That's par for the course. That's split because I put the pin in it. a pretty tight corner I'm asking this to do too. I think I'll just we'll leave it with that crack in it, because if I glue it, it'll glue it to the buck, and then I'm in trouble. So when I take it off, I'll just glue that crack back together. I had that pin stuck too close to the end, and I'm trying to turn a 3/16 radius. 16th would have done it, but 3/32 is asking a lot. It'll be fine. Good evening, Chris. If I'm not responding, it's because my hands are kind of full. I'm jockeying this stuff around. Let's, I guess I could work on the bottom skin too. Except, yeah, I'll lay it out, but I won't have enough time to mold it. I'll mold that tomorrow when I cut this off. So we're gonna make up a tail wheel. Piece of plywood for the tail wheel mount. All right. This is what you end up with. We made this in 45 minutes. Let this sit overnight. And when we come back on and wrap it, it will be an exact representation of the fuselage top block. It should, after I trim it to the top of the landing, it should fit absolutely perfect. Of course, then the reason why I cut this long or left this long here is these ears will come up into this. I'll relieve this about 50% or enough for this to glue onto this. So yeah, I'll have to show you. But it'll be a Lincoln log type affair where it's keyed in right there. And then we'll cut the top of the hole for the pilot out. I need to get the cockpit floor in it. But I'll do that tomorrow night. So that's basically, I mean, this model airplane business is pretty easy. There's not a big mystery. It's just, like I say, I'm seeing all these modelers that are beginners, and they're trying to give advice on how to build things, and it ain't anywhere near close. So be careful what you're looking for. If they're not showing you how to do it in real time, you know, they might have read in a book somewhere that this is how you do it, and then try to tell you how to do it. I started Stunt Hanger for that exact reason, because there was so much misinformation going on out there that I go, hey, and by top guys, misinformation by top guys. And I go, hey, we got to get the information out there. So then I got the information out there, and we've been at this now 17 years. But I got tired of typing. So I started making movies to show you how to do it. Well, I got tired of editing. So now we're doing live stream. I mean, one guy can only spin so many plates. Gary Sinclair has made me a Eric Brin plate spinning T-shirt. I need to get up. It's kind of cool where it's, edit, write, direct, cut, star in, write, whatever. Got to do all that shit to get the point across. But anyway, last night I decided on the airplane that I'm going to build RC. It's a Dauntless, World War II Dauntless, and I already sent the plans off to Danny to get him to print them up at UPS or wherever. But it's a large airplane. Gonna put a Sato 80 in it. It'll be an RC airplane. I will end up giving it away and hold a drawing on these things. And basically, the reason I'm going to do an RC airplane is to show the RC guys that this channel, everything I do here can be done with an RC airplane. It's all the same thing. The only difference between this airplane and RC airplane is this one has stagger, pitch, and wedge, and it has a bell crank instead of a servo. Where an RC airplane, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, as long as you keep it straight and light. But I have a lot of RC wood that I need to dispose of, where those 21 gram pieces can go. And I like to build, and I don't have a lot of room for, how many more stunners can I keep here plus have at home? So we're going to build an RC airplane, and we'll see what happens. But it's going to be dope finish. I'll probably cover it with coverall. Not coverall, polyspan, so that it does have a decent durability, because RC guys thrash their shit around. And we'll try to make it light and make it fly straight, and maybe get Danny to test fly it. I do have a radio, I do have some servos, and I do have a receiver and all that shit. So it's going to be good to go, be a ready to go airplane. But that'll probably take about a year, and I'll do one building session a week on that. Not like I do on the control line stuff, where I'm doing it 1 hour a night. I'll do one session a week on the RC side, so that the RC guys can get in on this. I even had one time had Stunt Hanger RC, and I just let that go. I was going to do an RC for them. My passion is not in RC airplanes. It's in control line stunt airplanes. But I do want to promote the hobby. And in order to do that, we need the RC guys. So hopefully that'll explain why I'm doing an RC airplane. It won't tick you guys off too bad. But it'll be along the lines of my Thunderbolt, with a Warbird paint job and detailed and all that nonsense. And it's a really great article that I got from 1974, this airplane. So even from my era. Any questions on straight form molding? Pretty simple. Most of the time was making the buck. That took 2 hours to make. Two sessions, 1 hour apiece. And I still need to mold up the buck. I don't know. I'm either going to mold up a new one out of this buck, or use my one that I already molded. And that all depends on how it fits. But I have this one already done up. And it don't quite fit on there anymore. I would need to take that out to get it to fit. I don't know. We'll see. This is pretty light. The problem is that I need to straighten it. If you look down the, let's see if I can get it. If you look down the way, it's kind of bowed. It's bowed this way. So I might take the bulkheads out and run a straight edge on it on the side of the workbench and straighten that line out and get it to work. But let's see what it weighs. That's the most important thing. What does it weigh? Weighs 11 grams. So we'll have two pieces, 11 grams. That's 22 grams. That's an ounce. I mean, almost an ounce for top and bottom. What are you going to do? Let's see. How does it feel? She's beefing up. I can feel it. It's much better. I think I need to maybe put some superfill inside this pipe towel. Even though I'm not going to use a pipe towel. But you never know. Might get the operation. I need to work on this still. This is pretty beefy. Let's see what this weighs. I have to take over 50% out of it. $68 grams. Mode. A little over 2¼ ounce, 2.35 ounces. And we got to whittle this puppy down to ½ ounce. So a lot of wood's got to come off it. But I'll get her. You gotta know where things need to weigh in order to build these airplanes light. You know, so well, how much does this need to weigh? And hit that mark. If you don't hit that mark, try again. Pretty simple. All right, we had another short session. Well, actually, it's been an hour. It's 58 minutes. Make sure you like, subscribe. Hey, if it helps you out, you know, give her a thumbs up. If you like the content, join. Make sure to ring the bell so you get notifications when I come on, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Charles has his hangouts on Mondays and Fridays. I try to make it on at least an hour every night. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I get tired. But when I'm working on a project, I try to get you at least an hour of content a night. And if you're not a member of Stunt Hanger, go to Stunt Hanger, www.stunthanger.com/SMF and join. Make sure to use your real first and last name or I won't approve you. And Joe Bellcrank ain't your name. I know that for sure. So a lot of guys try to sneak by me with some nonsense, but it ain't happening. So anyway, appreciate you watching. And until I see you tomorrow night, see you. Come on. There we go.